This video is sponsored by Bamboo Labs.
Hi, welcome back to Sadlands Chugs. This is the grape soda mega chug. Whoop whoop. I'll explain here in a bit, but first I have some thank yous in order. Today, we're gonna build the mega chug. Basically, we're gonna build I say a straw, but it's more of a container. We're gonna build, hang on, what's a fancy way to say it? We're building an advanced drink delivery system that will allow you to chug some amount of liquid really, really fast. And now I thought of a couple different ways to do this. The original prototype looked more like a thick straw and it had like a little impeller in it. But then I was like, hang on, we're gonna have to grease the impeller and we're gonna have, like, the grease is gonna get into the drink that you're drinking. I was like, I don't know. I was working on some designs with that. I never really liked where it was going. So then I did a little modifying and I eventually decided instead we're gonna go with a pressurized container system. So basically we're gonna have the container of liquid, of the drink. On the top, there will be a valve to allow pressurized air into the container, which will push on the top of the liquid. And then there's gonna be a straw going down into the bottom of the liquid. The top will be sealed. The pressurized air is gonna push the water or drink of some sort out the straw and then up through the top of the container and out. The container, by the way, so I used this before with my beer chiller. I bought these acrylic tubes. So I'm using similar tech to that. We got some 5-minute epoxy. I'm gonna attach the bottom and top, really, because we can fill it through the hose hole. We're gonna use some epoxy to attach a bottom and top. We'll cut this short. I don't need to be this long. It's wrapped in stuff, but it's actually clear once I take that off. But we'll epoxy the bottom and top on, hopefully creates a watertight seal, then fill with drink, put in the straw thing. I've 3D printed this custom lid, and then this is the cap, and then this custom lid. And the way this works is this part goes inside the container, so you see it has this ring that'll allow it to nest on here. And then it has this, which is a little barbed end. We can cram this guy on. I'll have a zip tie to help it as well. So the hose can go on there. This is going to be our straw that goes down to the bottom of the container, down in there. And then this just passes through and it'll go out the top, and this is what you drink out of. I don't think I've ever put a camera on the 3D printer before, but I have it over here as I print a second copy of this little jig that I modeled up. That's because we're sponsored by Bamboo, who is the maker of the 3D printer that I've used the last 2 years, and also of this lovely Bamboo A1 that they sent me for this stream. And then if you're like, okay, but where does the pressure come from? Ah, my friend, see, that's what this is for. This is where we're gonna thread in. And you'll notice I made it a little smaller. I made the hole a little smaller than the fitting, because the idea is that I thread it in and the threads cut into the plastic, because it's pretty high infill. It cuts into the plastic and then it seals better than if I, tried to print the thread in the hole itself. And we have a couple different things that we can provide pressure with. We'll go through those here in a bit. I've got a couple different gas variants that we have here. You remember this guy? This is from the beer cooling one. This is an adapter that I've stepped down into this. And it takes one of these little CO2 cartridges. Now, someone was fucking telling me off for using these things. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm like 90% sure they think these are whippets. These are not whippets. These are not drug. This is CO2 gas. You're breathing in a lot of it right now. I also have liquid CO2, which is gonna cause some freezing issues probably. And then I have a giant tank of oxygen that I can hook up. I can also just hook up compressed air. But that's a little less exciting, I feel like. I like the idea of using the high pressure. This is gonna be another popcorn device situation. Just make a drink cannon. How loud is this gonna be? Jeez! I don't know. I'm kind of more afraid that this isn't gonna be powerful enough. That's like, unironically, my main fear is that it's gonna just be like, and I'm gonna be like, oh man, that sucks. All right, let's start getting our stuff made up. Now, I have this long ass tube, but I think I might have one that I've already cut. Let me just see if it's there or not. Also, we're definitely gonna run out of filament soon on this thing, but as a further glazing the sponsor, even though I didn't intend to do this, it has a feature where it detects when you're out of filament and it lets you put more in, so it doesn't fuck up the whole print. It's real nice. Alright, well that's gonna save us some time. Shit's already cut. Heh, the Mega Chugger. That's what they called me in high school. At what point does this become less like less about the device and more about what a human throat can reasonably accommodate? I mean, what we're basically going for here, right, is we're trying to create a water hose that you can make any of the liquid be what comes out of the hose. So, I don't know, I feel like for like 1 second, you can probably like throat the water hose pretty well. I feel like I've done that before. I don't know. This is a learning experience. This is a learning experience of throat goat proportions. We will find out what the human limit is. Here, I'm trying to deburr this because it's got a little bit of a bird edge. You can tell, I can tell that when I cut this last, I used a, not a grinding wheel on an angle grinder because it melted the plastic. At TwitchCon, I met some ass who will love smoking, and I gave him 200 pack of Japanese cigarettes. I don't know who could have possibly gotten me these, but someone who was just in Japan brought me back this pack of flavored Lucky Strikes. And for some reason, the smoking warning on the package is that it destroys your balls. I'm not really sure why that's what they went with. Also, it is kind of crazy that they have a 4-flavor mix of cigs, because that's been illegal in the US for a really long time. You can't flavor cigarettes to be tasty. I posted this on Twitter and people started arguing about Lucky Strikes in the comments. And they were like, Lucky Strikes are ass, they're garbage. And other people be like, nah, you just can't handle it because you're a pussy. I get the impression that they are a very harsh cigarette. I've never smoked a Lucky Strike before. But now I have 200. Also, this box of, this carton of 200 cigarettes apparently costs $25 USD. So, you know. There's a reason why everyone in Japan be smoking, I think. You got a Chug McDonald's Sprite? What, have you guys seen the, okay. Have you guys seen the TikTok of the guy who, like, he like eats an entire pack of Listerine strips and then he drinks mouthwash and then he like chugs like a bunch of mints and then he drinks McDonald's Sprite and starts screaming?
McDonald's Sprite, 72 Listerine breast strips, a pound of dry ice!
Experiencing the coldest sensation of all time. This better not clog my shit. Alright. Now, that epoxy should harden into a nice juicy crust. I think I've got this sealed well enough. If not, we can do some finagling for sure. This is gonna be like a pretty decent sized container, I'd say. Oh, hang on, the printer has stopped. I believe it's because I ran out of filament. The bamboo spools have little NFC tags in them, which are quite nice because it tells you, it like automatically loads the print settings when you load them on. Here, hang on. How about we top it off with some of this blue, some of this bright blue filament. It's not the same brand. We'll maybe have some material inconsistencies here, but it is literally like the last little bit of the print. I don't think it's gonna be too big of a deal. All right. This print's gonna end up looking a little funky now, but you know, look at what we can get. All right, it's starting to set up. This is the test, you can tell. When the wire is stuck, that's when it's set up enough. Let me mix up more, actually. Oh wait, hang on. Important that I don't forget the very critical step of making sure that I put the hose on the inside. How long until we put mayo in the chugger? We'll see how fucking powerful it is first. We'll see how I respond to getting like half a liter of Faygo shoved down my esophagus in 0.1 seconds. Oh, we'll see how powerful it is before I go talking like that. That's the thing with, you know, being an innovator. You never really know how it's gonna be perceived. Cotton candy flavored Faygo is S tier. I've never had the cotton candy one, but I've heard a lot about it. Because that's like maybe one of the most unique ones, I think. It's wild that Faygo's just like, yeah, we're gonna make all these like fucked up evil flavors that no other soda company would dare touch. Why does PepsiCo think they're too good to make like to make the cotton candy soda? If they're not too good to make Mr. Pibb, then they should be experimenting with some more interesting stuff. Last weird soda I had was the Pepsi Cinnamon Burn. Hang on, yeah, you're right. They make like all these weird mixed ones. All right, for what it's worth though, you got bamboozled, bro. You got bamboozled. You know why? I think that when Pepsi and Coke and whatever, they come up with those weird combos, I don't think they expect real people to drink them. I think those are invented in a lab to get people to make TikToks talking about a Pepsi product. I think that's literally why those flavors, those weird-ass flavors are made. And I don't think they ever expect any real person to actually, like, consume it, you know? All right, hang on. First, let me seat this lid on here. There we go, baby. Okay, that's setting up still. That's gonna start setting up. And then we're gonna be good to go soon enough. That actually looks pretty good. Well, I'll take this wrapper off. That actually looks pretty good. Hang on. Let's tear this guy open. I want you guys to see what it looks like without all this stuff on it. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, it's beautiful. This is it looks mildly sinister. It looks like a tank a villain would hold the protagonist in. I quite like it. This is a nice looking little jig so far though. I'm gassing it a little too high though. We haven't used it yet. I think it's going to leak. Everyone's a critic. Everyone's a critic. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, maybe hold on. I love using the wrong tool for the job, baby. Oh, is it the wrong tool if it works? If I heated this up a little bit, I could hot seat and then screw it the rest of the way in. For when the threads break the plastic front, stress cracking the layers. You all think you're so clever. Now, I will admit, because I wasn't thinking about this when I initially printed it, but for layer stability, it probably would have been better to print at an angle like this instead of printing it flat. Because, well, no, it'd have to like blow the whole top off. I don't think it's gonna blow the whole top off.
Foreshadowing is a narrative device in which suggestions or warnings about events to come are dropped or planted.
You guys think this is gonna leak. I don't know what could ever give that idea. Now that I'm grown, I have 5 dozen eggs. So I'm roughly the size of a barge. No, don't sag. No, bro, don't sag. No sag. No sagging. We've got it. We got the fitting installed, for better or worse. The melted plastic adds flavor. Yeah, I'm kind of curious what that's going to do to both the structural integrity and also the microplastics that I would potentially be inhaling here. But we are about that. Once this cools down, I'll put this in and we'll see if it works. It's still slightly melting into the little cap part. I don't know if you can see. You can't see that from here. Hang on. It's like, it'll be fine, right? Yeah, no, it's just super sealed now. Hang on. What happens if I just suck straight out of this? Oh, wow. That's some strong epoxy fume. That is cancer. Maybe I didn't think this through too well. What does this tube taste like? I think probably we give ourselves like that much of a straw. I wish I wasn't sick. It's like sapping my energy out. It's driving me crazy. Because, you know, not saying I'm a degenerate, but it would be really fun to shotgun a beer using this. I feel like that's a primary use case for this device. But I feel like if I did it now, I would throw up. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. And then if we get let's get a zip tie on there. No! If it fell on after all this time waiting for the epoxy to cure, falls on the ground and cracks the acrylic, I would cry. This thing could not be more nasty. It's got like dirt in it, dude. Ew. Alright, hang on. Let me clean that real fast. Let me just clean it out first. I need the funnel to be able to put the drink into the thing through this nozzle. Alright, let's fill this boy up. Now's when we really get to see if it leaks or not. It's leaking out of the bottom of the damn funnel. Dude, the funnel is leaking fucking everywhere. The funnel is leaking out more than it's getting water into the container. It does appear to be watertight. Hard to prove when it's dripping everywhere from the top since I slathered water all over it. Count Osterman? Holy shit, the printer's done. Did you hear that? It played a tune. This one plays musical tunes on the stepper motors. You can see it ran out of filament halfway on the last layer. You switched it to blue and it has a stripe. I just wanted to see how well this PLA... Alright, this seems to be holding watertight. I just wanted to see how well this PLA, like, support material worked. Let's see if it's a yay or nay. Because I've had pretty good luck with just the trees. That's what this one used. It just had a little bit rougher of a finish. Hang on, hang on. That actually does separate real smooth. Oh, the finish is so much. That actually did turn out really well. I never used the... I have this spool. I've used it like once. But I don't normally use the support material stuff because it just takes longer when you have to print with 2 filaments. But that made that finish way nicer. Look at that. Look at that, like, looks like... Look how smooth that is. Compared to this, okay? This is your comparison. So this one had like the tree. This one had like the support layer tree, which prints faster because it's just 1 filament. And this one had the support layer on it. That's smooth, man. I gotta use that more. If I'm doing stuff where the cosmetics are important. I didn't realize... I was hoping it'd be a bit smoother. I didn't realize it'd turn out that nice, though. Ah. Alright, maybe I'll get more of that after all. Alright, this it looks like the epoxy made this pretty watertight. I'll just connect this directly to it. And then we'll put a CO2 cart in there. Alright, now I won't test this by chugging. Let's put this in a container that it can blow the water into. I just want to have it fully unimpeded for the first time. Check. Water in here. We just got a couple inches. This is just our rough test. And then I'll see if this builds, if this manages to build enough pressure to actually force it out. If it's disappointing, then we might need, if it's disappointing, then we'll maybe need to use the bigger tank. I don't think the odds of it exploding are pretty low, but you know. Cover the printer, move the print. You guys are afraid of everything. Good God, no wonder y'all don't do shit. Alright, here we go. Well, you want me to move it over here? What do you think's gonna happen, man? I'm afraid that it's gonna be underwhelming. You're afraid it's gonna be too powerful. I don't think it's gonna be that powerful. We'll see if this works correctly or not. Oh, motherfucker! Okay. All right. I didn't expect that. What the fuck? There's water everywhere. Good God, man. Hang on. That just hosed all my electronics. All right, you know what? I'm sorry. Listen, for all the people who say he never admits when chat's right, you guys are wrong, because right now I'm admitting chat was right, and the guy that said move the receipt printer was a fucking saint. You saved me $80. Holy shit. That shit is busted. Dude, that had so much more force in it than I thought it was gonna have. That it blew the whole thing apart, man. And it launched the water hose everywhere before it blew everything apart. That's crazy that did that. Dude, the monitor over here good grief. Did it get on the mic too? You know, I've gotten pretty good about, like, assessing the danger levels well. We haven't had shit that's trashed the desk like this in a long time. At least this was just water. If this was fucking Faygo, I'd be irate. There's also only, like, this much water in there. If it blew up a cylinder full of Faygo and, like, hosed it all over everything, it'd be such a disaster. You have no idea. Oh, no, bro. It fucking split the 3D print. What the hell, man? For when the threads break the plastic front, stress cracking the layers. You all think you're so clever. Okay, well, hang on. Luckily, that part doesn't take that long to print. A C-clamp? Oh, you know what? That actually would work. You're actually right. You know what? This is the most quick and dirty way to do this. And I'm not saying this is ideal. But I am saying that we're probably not going to have the same problem we had last time if we do it this way. Just saying. Didn't blow through any of the seals or anything. Just straight off the bottom of the... Oh my gosh, dude. Here, let's put water in here and see if it's watertight, because I don't know if it is or not. No, bro, it's not watertight anymore. You tell me blowing apart. You tell me blowing it apart made it no longer watertight? That's fucked up. You got any O-rings? Not the size of this. It's not a matter of do you have O-rings, do you have an O-ring in this size? I have O-rings, but not in any of the sizes of anything on this build. Alright, we're printing a new one. This one's gonna be orange instead of red, because I'm printing it on this instead. I realize now, I got two printers. I could technically print two. Fuck all that electrical tape. Now we're talking! Now this is a guy who knows how to bullshit his way through a project. Okay. You know what? Let's try if this works. It literally might. I don't know. Everything's gonna blow sideways. Speaking of things I blow sideways, just got back from your mother's place last night. Is that holding? Okay, it appears it's now watertight at atmospheric pressure. Don't bring up any possibility that this thing could experience more than that, and we'll be all happier for it. Do not move the printer. It will work perfectly. Okay, well, if this part explodes, we have a replacement at least. I want to get at least one good chug shot. Where the hell is that balaclava? I got distracted. Ah. All right, we're corning up in it again. So the idea is you put this in your mouth. Ow, it's sharp. Fuck. Put this in your mouth. And then... what do you do? Put this... and then twist this on. Ha! Ha! Alright, it didn't explode that time. Ha! There wasn't that much water in it, so maybe it didn't build up. Oh, well, also the clamp's probably keeping it together. Okay, you need to, like, hold the hose in place, because it went everywhere. It launched out of my mouth like a damn rocket. Alright, hang on a second. We got some corrections to make here. Looks suspiciously bong-like. It's not a bong. It's not fucking weed, you piece of shit stoner! The fact that now that it's clamped together, it is not easy to, like... It's no longer easy to, like, get to. Alright, which one of these do you want to set up for the chug? Faygo grape or Faygo cola? Alright, grape it is. Grape drink. This is the Drowns You machine. It's not the Drowns You machine. I can see my reflection in the curvature of this while I'm defending my use of this foul device, and I look like the Adam Driver bait image, if you know what I'm talking about. Alright, this is hard to tell you what I'm doing here. I'm putting a straw in the Faygo, and I'm sucking through this. Look at that. That's like half full of Faygo. That's like a considerable amount of Faygo, actually. That's a lot. Remember to yell whoop whoop before you chug to get the blessing of the juggalos. I think I'm gonna need them. Hi, welcome back to Sadlands Chugs. This is the grape soda mega chug. We got like 500 milliliter or so. We got at least a pint of grape soda in the pressure chamber here. We're gonna set up our little CO2 cartridge on top for a speed chug. Let's see how this works. Whoop whoop. Wow! What the? It feels like I just got a tube shoved down my throat. That's like a direct injection of soda. Holy shit! What the fuck was that, dog? I was prepared for it, so I didn't have, you know, I had my throat set to esophagus and not lung. Holy shit! And I'm covered in Faygo. Nah, I think this is literally perfect. This is, if I find myself at another tailgate, I'm bringing this. Unironically, this is great. This is a great invention. This is a great invention. You can fucking shotgun a beer in 1 second. You know what? Hang on a second. Do I have a Miller Lite? An ice cold Miller Lite? I need to have like a valve on here. The only change I would make is adding a little valve that lets you draw in from this. That's the only thing that I think is like a legitimate change to be able to bring this to a tailgate. Holy shit. That is that is way less beer than there was Faygo. Hang on, wait. Maybe this will. Okay. This is the innovation. This is the innovation we were looking for in college, man. Finally. Finally, the Mega Chug. Alright, hang on. Let me put my safety glasses on real fast. You know, not to be too safe. But I'd rather not lose an eye if my pressure vessel decides to misbehave, you know? Alright, CO2 cartridge here. Not nitrous, it's CO2. Drop that in here and prime the, alright. And then, yeah, bottoms up, bros. Alright, let's see. Oh, that'll wake you up. What the fuck? That felt like more. I think it's because it's so carbonated. That was like, it felt like it was so much more liquid. What the fuck? There's no, this is like a challenge. If you can chug that without spilling any, you are like crazy. I don't know what you're doing, man. Yeah, baby. Alright. Well, this thing's a fucking beast. All I need to do is work on the fill spout. That's like the only, just having like a little 3-way valve or something. Invention works, chug game is weak. Shut the fuck up! Thank you for the $5, Anthony. This thing rocks, though. This is it. This is maybe one of the best things I've ever built. It does what it's supposed to do so well. So much. Maybe it's just because I had low expectations. It does what it's supposed to do so much better than I ever would have expected it to be, okay? And it looks awesome, too. It looks great. It works great. I'm so proud of this thing. I'm proud of it because I'm like, dude, someone would buy this. Dude, I kind of want to like improve upon it. I'm gonna throw the 3D print files in the Discord afterward, though, and then I hope I remember this. I want to put them in the description of the YouTube video so that people can download and make this themselves. The acrylic tube, it's a 100. I believe it's 100 millimeter outer diameter tube. I can get the link for that too. It's on Amazon. Just in case anyone wants to make their own. And now, a word from today's sponsor, Bambu Labs. I've been working with 3D printers for nearly 15 years, and we have come a long way from those early days of the bed leveling, the shaky prints, slipping extruders, you know the drill. Each new generation of printers has brought new innovations to the field, but never have I felt this innovation more than when I got my first Bambu printer. I've been using a Bambu P1S as my primary printer for nearly 2 years now, and it's been one of the biggest improvements to my creative workflow that I have ever invested in. It's produced consistent, high-quality prints at an absolutely insane success rate. So when Bamboo asked to sponsor a project to show off their new Bamboo A1 3D printer, of course I was happy for the opportunity. The Bamboo A1 is an open frame printer that ships with a light variation of Bamboo's revolutionary AMS system. The AMS system is a setup which allows for the printing of complex multi-material prints with up to 4 filaments. For this specific build, I use the AMS to print supports out of a quick-release support plastic, and then the main print out of a high-strength PLA. But you can also use it to do multicolor prints, or just have multiple spool options that you can switch between when you're sending a print to the printer without having to swap spools on the physical printer, which admittingly is what I mostly use it for. I'm recording this about 2 weeks after doing the project, and by this point, I've run another 2 kilos of filament through the A1. I've been using it basically for all my 3D printed parts for the project since then. And I've done a couple prints that even span the entire build plate. If you've ever done any 3D printing, you know increases the rates of failure, but every single one has come out absolutely flawless. If you're interested in upgrading your printer setup, or maybe taking the plunge on getting into 3D printing for the first time yourself, check out my link in the description below, and be sure to take advantage of the insane Black Friday deals, because for a limited time, the A1 is not only the best printer I've ever used, but it's also cheaper than any other printer that I've ever bought, which is crazy. So be sure to check that out, and thank you again to Bamboo Labs for sponsoring this video.